Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the Three Spurs Boys. And first off, congratulations. Let's start happy. We have managed to hit 1,000.
We did manage it.
In this world that for some reason want to watch us. Crazy.
I've got to say big up to Sava as well, because I was on his show and he made a little push for us live on air and got us over the 1,000 mark. So,
and of course, let's not forget our Benny, who's consistently spamming our link in every opportunity he gets and every chat that he gets. So big up Benny and everybody else that's helped us along the way. Lots of channels to thank, lots of individuals that have come in and out of the show, lots of people that have made appearances. So much love to everybody in the YouTube community. And of course, those of you that join us in the chat, add to the conversation, add the comments. This is what makes the show. Without you guys here, it's just me and Kuva talking. And well, that'd be kind of fun too.
I'm fine with that.
We do end up having some crazy conversations.
We don't need audiences. It's fine.
Nah, it's all good. We've got plenty up here already. I know I've got a few more personalities. But we are back doing another ATF Coos. Of course, with myself, Bobby K, and the legend himself, the Norwegian sex god, Kuva99 here. It's not our usual happy stream. The happy clapping has almost dissipated. Kuva is
I'm full on right. Yeah.
Is it safe to say you've jumped off the train?
Yep.
And you're
well,
out?
It's not a train, it's a derailed wreck. We're just not doing anything.
Should we say hi quickly before we get into it?
Sorry?
Should we say hi to everybody quickly before we get into it?
Yeah, go on then. Before I depress them all.
Because no, look at that. Number one in the place, right? Woo!
Whoa. For Phil, it's a woo. But for the club, it's whoa.
Gotta love Phil, though. Big up Rinketic is here. Good to see you, mate. The sheriff is in the house already. Good to see you, Mark. What the F is Ange Ball has found us and subscribed. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for joining us. Tweak is in the house as well. Good to see you here, buddy. Big up Rinketic. Big up to you, mate. Little Archie's in the house as well. Big up, Benny. Good to see you. If you want to throw your 2 cents in, let me know, buddy. I'll shoot you the link over as well. AJ's in the house. Good to see you, AJ. Thanks for the nice words, but don't make me cry. Oh, I don't think anybody would be crying. And Kate is here from Just Girl Loves Spurs. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's about time we finally hit 1,000. I think we have to actually do shows, though, to get there. So, and thank you very much, AJ.
I'll apologize to the likes of Kate because I wish I could still be Anjin, but I just can't do it.
You know what, though, Coobs? I know a lot of people appreciate, I do, appreciate opinion and the fact that you come from a grounded area and explain yourself. It's not just a mad rant that one day you're this, one day you're that. If you're flip-flopping when it's not for fun, which we do a lot here, it's normally justified. When we had that great conversation regarding leave, we got a lot of good feedback because, again, we're coming from a perspective that a lot of people aren't thinking of. We're not just saying, leave you out. This is why I want him out. You were able to actually articulate a timeline.
Things change. You should be allowed to change your opinion.
There you go. Just not about the club. They're in our hearts forever. You die. And they give you a hard
there's always that piece at the bottom that keeps you coming back. Things take a little turn for the better and you're back on board again.
Yeah, we will just win the next 2 games and the quad's back on, baby. I'll shoot it over to you right now, Benji. Give me 1 second here. And you and Kuva can have a nice little chat. Oh, shoot. That's not supposed to happen during the show. Okay, here we go. And Benji, it's in the group for you, buddy. And Spurs TV is in the house. Graham, good to see you, mate. Angus is here as well. Angus, I'm not going to say I'm happy to see you yet. Give me a couple more days, buddy. I still just like your team and you a lot. Well, no, she's in business class. She's in first class, where she's sitting.
Up with Mickey Hazard. Mickey Hazard was up there with him. AJ saying, if you're Andrew in or Andrew out, that's your own personal preference. Nobody gets to tell you how to feel. Exactly, mate. Exactly, mate. That's why you will never hear me criticizing the fans for anything. You believe in what you want to believe and do what makes you happy.
Keep going, Coops. Right here. Take off. Go on.
Okay, let's start off with the background of how miserable I've been with this club since Pochettino left and the way in which he left. Clearly not being backed, team fizzling out, going stale, losing its way. And if you don't keep injecting new blood into any sports team, it will start to crumble and die. That's what happened under Pochettino. I was fuming mad about that. Then I saw managers coming in that I don't like. I didn't like Mourinho. His style of play, I'm actually against all that sort of thing. But he did arrive. So if he is here, back him. We've got a serial winner. Just do it. I will happily, well, not happily, I will begrudgingly accept what's going on if we're being successful and there's a hint of trophies on the horizon with a style of play I'm not particularly thrilled with. I'll be okay with it, but I'm not going to celebrate it as much as I would with what I always insist on. Great football, great attacking football, and winning football. That's what I'm all about. So that's what I've craved for a long time now. And we see managers like Mourinho, Conte, Nuno. I'm against all of those. I know Ben will be a big up Ben. I know Ben's a fan of Conte and that style of football. There's something to be said that if you saw what he did in Italy, transferred over to the English league, it could work. Perhaps it'll be more enjoyable. It's better than this. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But anyway, when Ange arrived, it was that breath of fresh air. We were all feeling it. I remember Sava and I going on the stream saying how much we were looking forward to this. Attacking football all the way. The bloke said everything brilliantly. As a fan, everything coming out of his mouth was just gold. It was we're just gonna go for it. We're going to attack the other team till they drop dead, sort of thing. Magical. This is what I believed in. So gave him a good chance. First 10 games of the season, I'd already at that point decided, forget all sense of logical reason. I'm for my own mental health. I am going absolutely full in, happy clapper, greatest club on earth style of approach. After 10 games, it was, my God, this is actually working. We're doing it. It was a great time. Since then, however, and I wouldn't say we were so much found out as the fact that I think we're half run out of steam at that point.
Is it? Sorry, interrupt this quickly. First off, big up, Benny. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate this, buddy. I know we're having a more of a off key for what we normally do around here, but it is a serious shout, and I knew that you would kind of weigh in heavily here on Kuva's side and support the argument. So that's why I wanted you in here as well. Sorry, you said now it was just basically we ran out of steam. Do you think it's possible that it just took 10 games for the rest of the managers in the league to figure us out?
Bit of both. Okay. It's a bit of both. I've got a way to bring Ben into this as well. So after all this hyping the manager up, hyping the team up, loving this opening 10 games, you could kind of see, if you take your Spurs hat off at the time, you could see that some of those wins weren't very convincing. And we were getting away with one. We had the same sort of period of success under Mourinho and Conte, where results were incredible for a short time, and then it all fell off. Exactly the same thing happened with Ange. Suspensions, injuries, as we know. But the underlying thing with all of it, for me, it's not the high line. It's not the shoddy defence, because you can still concede goals and win a game. It's that a woeful attack. It's absolutely pathetic. It's the worst I've seen since an AVB side when Gareth Bale wasn't playing. There's nothing. I don't believe in it whatsoever. And nothing's changed in the summer. I thought, if Ange is saying he's behind all these signings and he wants all of them, then he has literally created this forward line. Whether you believe that or not, the bloke said it. He has invited people to put it all on him. Everything's his doing. It's his decisions. Nothing gets done against his wishes. So he's constructed a forward line like this, and all of the signings in the summer are on him. Whether I like it or not, whether I believe it or not, he's taken responsibility. So he's getting judged in his second season, which is what he said he wanted. We are judging him now. It's shit. We're on a constant downward trajectory since that 10-game opening from last season. And you can notice it. It's measurable. League results show you this. You take segments, break them up, break them down into like little segments of games, analyze them. The longer the time goes on, the worse we are getting. It's carried through to this season where we've now won 1 in 4 games, averaging a point a game and looking absolutely shocking. We're now bottom half of the table team, and deservedly so. You look at the start to this season, the only game we've won is against an Everton side who are pathetic, and everybody smashes goals past them.
Yeah.
Woohoo. What about the other games? What about against Arsenal, where we don't look like we're going to score in a million years? We didn't look like we're going to score in a million years against Newcastle and needed an own goal to do it from a shot that was saved and going wide.
Yeah.
And against Leicester, who should be the whipping boys, we couldn't put them away. And when they did score with their middle-aged forward now, the only forward they've got, he still manages to get a free goal and score it. And after that, we crumble and they're all over us. We're poor. We're piss poor. And I'm just not going to stand by and say everything's good. I'm not going to stand by and say back the manager when he's saying, oh, we can, no reason we can't challenge for the league this season. I'm always going to win something in my second season. Really, with these performances, what is he smoking? The bloke is more losing.
We're looking at this. It's almost a year, right, that we bring this up from. And you look at the
absolutely. And here we go, because this is the bit that I'm talking about. This drop in form, it is measurable. There we go.
Yeah.
If you take out those promoted teams, the teams that aren't there anymore, and you end up with this league table. So it's fair at the moment. It's the only way you can do it. But I'm going to take that further and put the other statistics in there about recent games. Last 15 games we've played, 5 wins, which isn't a very good win percentage by any of our managers in previous years, including No, who had a 50% win rate. We won 5 of those 15 games, all against bottom 5 teams, whipping boys, supposedly easy wins. That's all we've got.
And we always scored in the last minute versus those guys as well.
And we literally cannot even beat a mid-table team during that time.
But
we've not beaten a top 10 team in over a year.
Yeah.
We've not beaten a top 10 team since Aston Villa, and they had 10 men at the end of that game.
And then break it down to even more recent snippet of games. You look at the last 11 games, we've lost 7 of them.
Yep.
This is a team that's going to win something this season, challenge for the title. This manager is talking out of his arse.
Yeah.
All he's done since he's come in is talk a good game. That's it. We had that nice new manager bounce at the start of his reign. A bit of luck thrown in there. Fair enough. You get that sometimes. It was enjoyable then. But now we're seeing the business end of things, and it's not working. And he does not convince me at all now. So I bought into everything he was saying, but my eyes are open now. You can't ignore what's in front of you. We're a team that is failing consistency game after game after game, and it's getting worse, not better.
That's the problem, I think.
Now, this is where let's bring in Ben, because I look at Ben as the sort of I won't say dipstick. That's the wrong word.
Yeah, definitely a dipstick.
He's the barometer.
He's our guest, man.
It's the perfect word. Perfect word. Perfect word.
That was fun. Barometer is the right word.
This is why people don't come on the show with us.
Ben has been my barometer for looking how the team's doing.
Sorry, before we get into Ben, though, I just wanted to shout out Tweak here, becoming a new YouTube member. Appreciate it, Tweak. Thank you very much, man.
Yippee! Thanks for the super chat. Who's awesome? You are.
Appreciate that. Jacob's in the house as well. A lot of people joining us this morning. Good morning to all of you. Good afternoon.
Jacob, you're saying it's not getting worse, just fail at the same aspect every time. But no, you're wrong, mate. You look at the points we're winning. You look at points per game and just break it down over the course of time. It's a constant downward trajectory. It's getting worse, mate.
What about this then? Add into Ben. Why don't you jump on what Kuva wanted you to say and then add Kate's comment into it with Solanke only having 2 games right now? Do we not have to kind of have a little patience to give them the opportunity?
Where do I start?
Anywhere you want.
I'm being consistent with what fans did under Antonio Conte. What was the one thing people always said about Antonio Conte's style of football? It's boring. It's turgid. I hate watching it. I'm watching every game with my back turned to the telly.
Yeah.
This is worse. This is worse. It was boring, but at least there was a structure to it. You knew what they were doing. There was a coherent idea of what you watch. I speak as a match-going fan. It's turgid. It's turgid. I think people are saying, oh, at least it's attacking. It's not attacking football because we got a terrible attack. It's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible watch. If you gave Antonio Conte this team, they'd at least get fourth, wouldn't they, Kuva? They would get fourth if he had the team.
He'd get some results out of it, yeah.
He would get fourth. You gave this to Thomas Tuchel, he would get fourth with this team. It's boring. It's boring football. It's pass, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, the entire game. And then we give the ball away. Transition, the attacker's got two men in the back, you can concede a corner, and it's a goal. No way. 12 months into a job, you should be able to defend, and you should be able to defend the set piece.
The argument comes back that he didn't get the players that we needed to upgrade the squad fully.
No, Bobby. Every player that comes through this door comes in on my say. I'm holding him to his words.
Yeah, but that's fine. But he's saying that he's agreed to the transfers that have come in and the people that have come in. But he's not saying he got his first choice options. And that to me is a big difference.
Why did he say yes to them then? He signed Timo Werner twice. He saw Timo Werner for 5 months.
The only players I know that I've seen him bring in that are 100% concrete so far are his is he kept Spence and he said that he sees a future for him.
He doesn't give him a chance, Bobby. He doesn't give him a chance.
Doesn't give him a chance. Brings in Gray, who hasn't even had a sniff of the field. What's the point of having the youngsters in if you're not going to integrate them into the squad? And then we got Solanke. Again, I'm not going to sit here and rag on this guy because, like I already said, he's only had 2 games so far. The last one was him coming off an injury straight into the NLD. Now, for me, I didn't see much fight in the team at all. This is supposed to be North London derby, and I'm watching Madison chuckle away on the sideline with Arteta. Hands on the ball and have a laugh and give him a little, hug around the shoulder. We're all mates.
I even agree with Rory Jennings. With Ange Postecoglou told the media, I don't want my players to want to win this game more than any other game. Are you mad?
Yeah.
If you said that as the Celtic manager,
you can't set that as a baseline. That can't be the foundation you going into the game.
Celtic manager,
you should want to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
If you said that as the manager of Celtic and you didn't want to beat Rangers more than any other team, you'd be lynched.
Yeah, fair enough.
You would have pitchforks outside your house at 4 a.m. That'd be get out of my club.
Yep.
The 2 most important games of the year are Chelsea at home, Arsenal at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal. Those are the most important games of the season as a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
Yep. 5th and 6th, West Ham at home, West Ham away. But quickly, just wanted to shout out Tom here becoming a new member. Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you very much, buddy.
Yippee! Thanks for the super chat. Who's awesome? You are.
There you go. AJ's asking a question, especially for Kuva and Benny, as I'm not sure where you stand, Bobby. Right now, honestly, AJ, I know I am still a deluded happy clapper. The only reason I'm going to stay here and sit here and say I'm still Ange, I'm still behind the project, I'm still going to support the project is because I'm at this point, I don't see where we go and what we do. But we are going to get into all that. I will hold on to this, AJ, and I promise we will address it going through the show, buddy. Just catch up here quickly. But sorry, either of you want to keep going there where you were at? By all means,
we got this. It's perfect comment. You say you can't for individual errors. Why is he still playing Romero then? Romero's cost us 3 games of football.
We clearly do have an alternative to pick if we don't pick. If we don't want to have Romero.
He's cost us 3 games of football, but he still continues to pick him.
To answer AJ's question. Would it be a case of Ange can stay if we start scoring goals and start getting results? Yeah, of course. It's results based. It's the results that's so bad. If he showed that we're turning things around and it's improving, okay, I can get behind that. But we're not. We're going the opposite direction. It's measurable. That league table and recent games, break it all down, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it doesn't matter if the pressing looks better. It doesn't matter if individuals in the midfield are doing a better job at winning the ball. The fact is, at each end of the pitch, we are still massively underperforming. Yeah. Brennan Johnson, when you look at his statistics in front of goal, he performs at a level below average, literally below average. Not that he's not up there with the elite players at the very top, like the Man Cities. He's not even mid-table. He's below that level. And that's a forward. We need him scoring goals. We need him creating things. He doesn't. And people will big him up or say, oh, he's only a youngster. He's 23. That's well
he's not a young player anymore.
He's a full international. He's getting excuses made for him all the time. It's piss poor and he keeps getting picked. Why? What for? Yeah. What does he do? He's literally below average. It's there and it's solid numbers.
Yeah.
Timo Werner, Jesus Christ.
Imagine signing Timo Werner twice.
My God. And we're going to win things.
Him for the first. You saw him. You saw him from January to July. It was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I mean, this turn about Ange out for me as well. This isn't a reaction to the North London derby. This has been a pressure cooker. This has been happening for quite some time. I've furiously been trying to get behind Ange, see where we're going with things, but I've lost confidence all the way through the second half of last season to the point where I was glad the season was over. I'd already stopped watching games because it's pointless. And now we'd start off this season. I'm already thinking I'm not going to bother watching on Thursday.
Yeah.
I won't bother watching at the weekend. I'm going to respect my time more. I don't believe in a goddamn thing he's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And it fits in with this chairman where I don't believe in anything he says or does right from the start.
Yeah.
We've got basically a yes man who's made it his mission to have everything on his own shoulders. So he's got that now. So he's getting backlash from the fans, and he's made it that way. If he just shut up and got on with his job, maybe we'd say it's Levy. Maybe we'd say Levy's not backing him properly. We're doing the wrong things here. He needs differently.
But Coops, that's the issue. If he doesn't come out and make these positive statements and stuff, then again, it's tear at the fan base, regardless of which way we look at it.
Well, Coops has said it on. I think he said it on my show. If he comes out and says, you know what, guys, it's going to be a really difficult couple of years. We've got to change the entire way of football, and we've got to bring in stick with us. It's going to be a rocky road. It's going to be, whilst we find what we're going to do and build a style of football, stick with us. We will try and do our best. Ange is coming out and saying there is no reason why we can't challenge for the Premier League. I'll give you 4 reasons. Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea are a better team than us at this moment in time.
Levy.
That's 6 reasons right off the back. Of course, we can't compete for the league. Are you mad?
Can you guys address this comment?
The head coach position at Spurs is untenable as Levy is owner. I agree. Levy just doesn't prioritise the footballing aspect of the club, so no coach will truly succeed. I agree. Totally agree. What I've always maintained, though...
Well, does that come down to then just being Ange, then? It's a bigger picture, no?
A bigger picture. But what I've always insisted for the last 15, 20 years now, we're now a club where the only chance we have of success is to constantly sack managers, roll the dice, and hope for this miracle worker. We got it with Redknapp, we got it with Yol, we got it with Pochettino. We have to go for another one of those that somehow manages to find a way to get some sort of direction, sense of going forward and challenging, despite Levy, not because of him.
Yeah.
So Ange clearly is not working out for me.
I can't blame Levy Kuva for this run of form. I can't blame him. He's given him £380 million. That's more than Conte had. It's more than Mourinho had. It's more than Nuno had. And it's more than Poch had in his last couple of years. He's had a lot of money spent on him, and he's bought crap players.
You know what, Ben? It brings back something Conte said. which I didn't think much of at the time, but when you look back at it, he's bang on. All that money being spent. No, just go out each season, 2 players, 2 70 million pound players, get 2 quality players into the team every transfer window. So we've built your team. We don't do that. We never do that.
We always buy the lucky number 7, don't we, Kuv? We always buy 7 players. There was an absolute love of the number 7. It's simple. It's what he's had. It's what he had. £380 million. That's how much the fees are.
Imagine how much different this transfer window would have been if the wingers we'd got were Chiesa and Eze.
Yep.
Quality.
Yep.
Now, given it's the whole package, though. I'm saying Ange has to go purely because we need to roll that dice. He's not going to work. There's no way he can possibly work there now.
Yeah.
Okay, then you guys are saying that, and we've heard other comments that some people were there's something in here that's going on with Daniel saying that Kate had said that she'd take Poch back. That being said, I want to bring this up. Pochettino's first season at Spurs, we came in with a young team, finished 5th. Skoglu's first season at Spurs, young team, came 5th. Ange's following season, they had a poor start, 4 points from 4 games. Ange, similar, 4 points from 4 games in his following season. Potts turned around, ended up finishing 3rd, and had a great season with the young side. We saw a lot of players improving that. People are saying tough process with Ange. So, that being said,
I'll say to you, Bob, look at that first Pochettino team that he had. He had Kabul at the back. He had Etienne Capoue in midfield. We had some shocking players. And Ange inherited a much better team than Pochettino inherited.
That's basically what I was going to ask you.
Far better team than he inherited. He's also been given the likes of Mickey van der Ven, who's class. He's got Romero, who's a World Cup winner.
Don't forget what Pochettino also managed in that early season. He decided Capoue wasn't good enough. We had a midfield of Bentaleb and Ryan Mason.
Yep.
And he got us 5th. Because he's a proper manager, he knows what he's doing. You also, at that time, even when we were struggling, you could still see bits of talent in the players. You could see little things that are working. You could see a way forward. Right now, all I see is us pressing. That's it. There's nothing else to our game.
So what if it's a better
running
team?
around a lot, pushing guys. That's about it.
What do you mean, so what if it's a better team? It was a much better team. So, what do you mean, so what? It's a much better team. If it's a better team, it's a better a football team. Pochettino had Yunus Kabul at right back.
But how's this for a question from James here, from the Flower Man? Oh.
Yeah, likes of Archie Gray and Bergvall. Yeah, if he really wanted them, why are they not on the team? Why would you spend 40 million on a player?
You've said this now. You've said you don't mind losing games as long as you see it's all the youngsters on the pitch. And we're seeing that they're giving the game time, they're developing. We chucked this season away. We know we're building towards something. Is the anger and the frustration building from the fact that not only is the football poor, the results are very poor, but we're not seeing any kind of motion forward? Is that, do you think, what's building on the frustration for you? That you just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing?
We're getting worse, not better. Yeah, we go in the opposite direction.
We can't defend the corner. And people are saying, oh, we've got better at defending corners this year. We played against Leicester, who are terrible, and they've only got Jamie Vardy up front. Newcastle, who are awful, and we should never have lost to Newcastle. They were awful, like dreadful, and they still beat us. And we played Everton, who are terrible. Terrible. The moment we play a team that's good at set pieces, we concede a set piece goal.
Yeah.
18 set pieces conceded last year.
We're also set up.
They were the number 1 team last year for scoring on set pieces as well.
We're also set up to be a gung-ho attacking team, which I'm all for. I love that idea. But we're set up to be all about the attack, and then we've got crap forwards to do it with. It makes no sense. If you can't, what was the transfer window about if we haven't improved that? I just don't believe in anything that's going on at the club now. It's been coming for a while, but It's highlighted this season. Like I said, take that Everton game out and look at those other 3 games, because Everton are just rock.
I reckon we could get 11 Spurs YouTubers together and we would beat Everton. That's how bad Everton are. We could have Jacob in goal, because Jacob's always a goalkeeper. Big up. We could have 11 Spurs YouTubers and we would beat Everton. They are that bad. That is the worst Everton team I've ever seen. This is an Everton that have won 9 league titles. That is the worst Everton team that I've ever seen. Like, everyone tonks Everton. Everyone scores 3 goals past Everton.
Let's just quickly take a second here to shout out our friend here, Brian Daigle, one of the people that
big up Brian.
The reason behind this channel even getting started in the first place. So big up Brian. Thank you for hit 1,000. Thanks for your help and your encouragement to even get going in the first place and bringing me into this YouTube community. Unfortunately, Brian had a minor surgery that was scheduled for yesterday that got canceled and screwed him over big time. And he's not in a happy place right now. So, Brian, we hope you have a better day. We hope things get better, and actually hope that they call you within the next few hours to just tell you to get your ass back in there and they can get you in for a cancellation. But hope you're well, my man. We'll definitely speak later. AJ saying, Ben, he spent all the money. Do you really think the players he's bought are his first-choice players? That's what I was kind of asking earlier, right? It's great that we're saying, yes, he supports the players he brought in, but what manager in his mind, I've only seen Conte ever do it with Spence when he turned around and said, no, he's not my signing. I didn't want him here. I've never seen any manager at any other club in any other sport turn around and say, I don't want him. Why the hell is he here?
Keep your mouth shut then.
Yep, keep your mouth shut.
Saying things like, oh, Odegaard, I really like this player. I've been after him all summer. He's literally saying he wants them. He's put it on himself. If he just shut his mouth sometimes, he wouldn't be in this sort of situation. He's invited all this criticism, so he's getting it.
Yeah, and even this, this has been a consistent part of the argument as well. Why bring in Gray and Bergwall if they're not going to play? Bergwall looked very good in preseason. A lot of people were excited about him. We were excited at the prospect when he signed on in the first place. But what is the point if he's just going to ride the bench? How can he become a viable option off the bench if we don't get the opportunity to see what he can do? Like, we looked at that bench against Arsenal. We brought on Sarr and Werner. Who else was there that we thought that could truly impact the game? We don't know because we haven't seen them.
It's crazy. One of the things that really makes me laugh is people always bring in Arteta's Arsenal. Like, Arsenal 5 years into their project. Wait till Ange's 7 transfer windows. Have they forgotten that Ange has never spent more than 3 years in a job? That's a fact. He's never spent more than 3 years in a job, and they expect him to be here for 7 transfer windows. He doesn't spend that much time in a job. He's never done it. Not in his entire career.
Now, Kate's sitting here saying everybody wants success now, but Kate, I think it's fair. Like, I'm a deluded happy clapper that supports the team even when we've lost stupidly. But I think it's fair for people to want success now because they've been starved of it for a quarter of a century, sorry. We're talking about going back 16 years to a League Cup. And we're supposed to be...
More importantly, to counter what Kate's saying, do you believe we're improving, Kate? Do you believe we're actually getting better this season than we were last season?
No one is guaranteed to win a trophy, but there are a few things. There's a few things I want to see. I want to see us being able to defend properly. You can see, if you look at the format, Sava brought it up on the screen the other day, our 2 centre-backs were in different postcodes. That's how far apart they are. How do they expect to defend if you have a transition against them? You
got Mickey Vanderman back there. He can cover for 3 positions, so it's fine. But that's what it is. He's allowing the fullbacks to push forward.
He's been at Tottenham this season, Bobby, and his hamstring has already gone twice.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we've discussed this. We discussed this on the last show. Somebody had said that he's not going to make it a few more games, more or less to the end of the season. Tom is saying
that he had 3 hamstring injuries in his career. He had 1 at Wolfsburg, and he's had 2 at Tottenham in a year
already. And Solanke went injury-free all last year and decided to come in and get injured in his first game here. So we all know how the medical staff is here. But Poch brought in Dele Alli straight in. Where are Ange's youngsters? I think that's a very fair question. Ben, why are the youngsters not getting played?
Because he didn't want them, clearly. Everyone thinks this is a project manager. Not a single club he's managed is a project. He always goes into one of the best teams in that league. He buys players in that league and he wins that league. He's never built a team. He's never built a team. That's why he's only there for 3 years. He goes for 3 years and he leaves. This is not. If you want
to comment there, she was saying the philosophy needs to change. So is it also with the youngsters? They're not picking up the philosophy, or the old guys not picking it up, or is just nobody not listening to them?
Harry Redknapp had us playing attacking football in 2 games. You don't need 12 months to build a philosophy.
Also, Kate, not having a go, but
I agree with this, Ilmatic. I think he needs way more than a year to correct 24 years of just pain. The guy, I know how you feel, Coobs. I know this is the first time we've ever been on the opposite sides of the fence because I'm still Ange. I just don't see what we can do right now. I think it's absolutely insane for us to fire him and look at getting somebody else.
Is it insane, Bobby? Is it insane?
Well, I don't know. Because
are we going
to do this every 18 months?
That's what Levy does.
We're not changing anything then, Ben. We're staying right here. We're going to stay stale. We're going to stay stagnant. We're going to just keep rinse and repeat. Same thing every 18 months. Bring in some players, back to whoever the manager is at that point. Bring in a different manager who wants to change systems. The players don't suit his system. How many of us have said, how many YouTubers have said lately that this team is the Conte team now? So we built a team for a fucking manager that's left.
That's what he does. That's what Levy does.
But then how is all the blame? Is it because he's basically come out confidently, delusionally saying that I'm going to win something with this squad? I can do something?
It's because
I don't blame the guy for wanting to be positive and instill some sort of push into the system that says, yes, we can go for it, and instill some belief in these kids that probably have none. It's been taken from us as fans. How can players be coming into this club expecting to get results and wins when we're void of it? It's just not the club mentality, it seems, anymore.
No, there's nothing. Nothing. Complete lack of direction. We don't have leadership anywhere in the club from the top to the bottom. Yeah. What else can I say? Also, can I just address something Kate said about she sees where Ange is going with this? Can you explain it? Because all I'm seeing is all we do is pack the opponent's half of the pitch and press hard to try and win the ball and then hope for the best. There's nothing else there. If we're still installing a philosophy or instilling a philosophy into the team, how can you see where we're going if it's not there? I just don't get it. It's hopeful, Kate. That's all. I mean, I was there with you last season. We wanted this to work out. Yeah. I desperately wanted Ange to work out. It was the next breath of fresh air we badly needed. I believed in every word he said. I was literally just loving the words coming out of his mouth at the start.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I can't ignore what's happening in front of my own eyes.
Yeah.
We are getting worse. That's factual. It's proved. It's there. The evidence is there. You look at that league table. You look at the results. You compare it month after month after month. The trend is downwards, and it's continuing downwards.
Yeah.
We should have stuffed the likes of Leicester off the park. We had a summer to bring in talent to improve this system. It didn't. Leicester looked better than us after they weathered the storm we put on them early on. Our storm doesn't have any lightning.
In the last minute, and ended up paying what they wanted.
Yeah. Arsenal, the bloody North London derby, after 20 minutes, I remember putting in a group chat, I'll worry about this now. This is exactly how it usually pans out. We throw everything at them, can't break them down, and now we're just waiting
for them to score. We don't score twice
score.
after the first 20, we're losing a game of football.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
What about this, guys? What about this, what Stuart's saying? Should Bergvall, Gray, and Moore start tomorrow? Even though we know it's on paper it weakens the squad, but
you start 1 or 2 of them. You don't start all the youngsters. You need to have the spine of the team. It depends if he actually wants to win this competition.
4-37.
If he wants to actually win this competition, he should play his full strength team. But he won't play it because at the end of the day, it is a club problem. Levy doesn't care about the Carabao Cup. He doesn't care about the FA Cup. What Levy cares about is top 4, Champions League money. It's what he cares about. It's what he cares about. The moment that Ange can no longer get top 4 or get Champions League football, he'll be sacked within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He'll be sacked within 5 minutes.
Yeah, agreed. Ultimately, everything's on Levy, but I've come to the conclusion we just can't get rid of him. So we've just got to, like I said, roll the dice, hope we get lucky with a manager that can work under these ridiculous conditions.
Now we're saying
it's all a matter of coaching, Bobby. It's all a matter of coaching. How many players can you say that Ange Postecoglou has improved in this Tottenham team?
Well, I asked that about the youngster. It was actually a banner. Is he capable of improving the youngsters? But you've expanded it more in terms of has he improved anybody?
I can't see a single. Son has got worse because now Son is no longer playing as an inside forward.
Son has got worse.
Madison's got worse. Romero is getting worse this year because now he's making more and more mistakes. He's back to where he was under Conte, constantly making mistakes and being caught out of position. Udogi's now making mistakes, being in stupid positions.
Yeah.
Sarr is getting worse. The players are getting worse. I can't name a single player that's got better. He's supposed to be improving players, and it's our best forward, one of the most clinical finishers in the world, is playing so far wide. Yet Udogi's playing as a number 10. It makes no sense to me. And there's this guy. I think you might have heard of him, Bobby. Kuvs might have heard of him as well. He was a pretty good footballer. His name is Glenn Hoddle. And yes, you can say Glenn Hoddle wasn't the greatest manager himself. But when he comes out and says this system is not working.
Oh, that's the guy that used to dribble through like 5 players like they weren't even.
Yeah, he was a pretty good footballer.
He's okay.
He was a pretty good footballer. When he's saying that it's making Sonny worse, it's making Madison worse. They're not receiving the ball. Madison receives the ball in midfield. He's got 4 players around him, and they're his own players. He has
to drop back to the centre back.
He has to become a quarterback, which means he's making really long passes, which are getting easily cut out. It's madness. It's madness. Why is Sonny so... They don't even take shots anymore. Sonny doesn't take shots from outside the box anymore.
Yeah.
Madison, one of the best long shots in the team. He doesn't shoot anymore. He's not shot. I don't see him shooting. He was at the beginning of last season. He was shooting. He got that great goal against Burnley when we battered Burnley.
Here's one guy I know that is definitely still on the Ange train and saying we need to give him time. You guys know I'm still on the give him time thing only because I
totally understand why you want to give him time. I totally want you. I hate him.
I'm in a different boat than you, Ben. I'm not paying £3,000 a year out of my pocket to go. Like that point you made a few weeks ago to me is one of the greatest points I've heard on YouTube from anybody. That if there's a 6% increase in my ticket prices, why can't I see a 6% increase on the pitch in the quality of product that I'm receiving? Very fair point, very fair question.
Products now.
We've gone backwards since we got this new stadium. But we've gone backwards since we got this new stadium. So the prices have gone up, but the quality has gone down. The product has gone down.
And people are going to say, oh, why'd you go then? It's a shit argument when people say, why'd you go then? My family has gone since the 60s. So I'm not going to stop going because I don't like one manager.
No, we didn't, Jacob, but appreciate you.
My family saw Tottenham got relegated in 1979. Did they stop going? No, they kept on going. They went in the 2nd division. But it's just I want to see a coherent, sensible football team. I want to see a sensible football team.
You know what? You know, I really dislike at the moment. I'm seeing people in chat I know and love, and I'm totally at loggerheads with them over it all. It's not right. But Jacob, of course, Ange has to speak to the media, but it doesn't mean he has to use the words he chooses, does it? He's talking absolute nonsense. You can just give some standard responses to a few things if you don't believe in it. But after the Arsenal game, he even came out with one sentence. He says, I don't say anything if I don't believe in it. So therefore, all of the players that came in, he did want. Everything that's happened, he's invited on him, and he said that, and he believes in it. So that it takes the argument out of anything. This is Ange's doing what's happening at the club.
Yeah,
he's taken responsibility. I don't know why he's done that, but he has.
It's Andrew
deflection. Put all the onus on him, the way some of the old school managers used to. Deflect everything away from his players. Be the deluded psychopath in front of the media. Say the stupid things. Say the things that are going to have you popping up at the media. Say the things that are going to have the fans questioning you and not the players.
I think back in the days before social media, you could do that as a viable tactic as a manager.
Yeah. Nowadays,
you've got to realise you're going to get attacked 24/7 if you do that and things aren't going right. But it all comes back down to the point with Ange at the moment. If things were started off badly and we're slowly getting better, I could back that. But we're going the other way. It's getting worse. And the fact it's just, when you say it's not getting worse, it is getting improving. It's an opinion. When you back up saying it's worse by looking at league results, average points gained per game over the course of a season, create a graph out of it, and you can see it is definitely getting worse.
Yeah.
Now that you don't need context for a league table because it's a mixed board of who teams you're playing. You're playing all sorts every season. It's the fairest way of judging your overall ability as a team. It's the league table. And we're doing badly right now. That first 10 games under Ange has given a false impression of how well we've done overall. You take that away, and it's been poor ever since and getting worse. Sticking by it.
A lot of those games we won, like Sheffield United, we won in the 103rd minute against Sheffield United.
Yeah, that was funny.
Relegated.
I actually loved that game.
It was a brilliant game.
Just for that.
Ridiculous. 103rd minute win against Sheffield United. We should have put 6 past them. Other teams did. Newcastle put 8 past them, didn't they? Something crazy. There's madness. I don't know what I'm thinking with this club. I'm now starting to get disenfranchised because I'm getting told that I need to be enjoying this style of football, and I just think it's shite.
But you're in a different position, Ben. You forked out your hard-earned money to be there. You know, you're in a different situation than myself.
When I watch on the TV, Bobby, the style of football is still shit. Doesn't matter where you watch it. The style of football is bad. It's a bad style of football.
Yeah, but
penetration.
This is not new, Ben. This is the thing. This is not new. The style of football has been absolutely atrocious. Poch left. We've been absolutely screwed. And I know I'm going to be completely outnumbered here now. It's 3-on-1 now. But
no, Daigle was on your side. Daigle was on your side. Okay.
No, he's not. Just say Levy out.
Oh no!
Correct.
Listen, first of all, I've got half an hour till I've got to go to my neurologist. I wanted to come on for a bit. First of all, to say congratulations to the both of you up there for hitting 1,000.
Appreciate it, buddy.
It's too long to get you there. This is one of the best channels, and 2 brothers of mine that run it, and 2 people I pretty much could call my nephews. And a wonderful channel and a wonderful family. And obviously people will know I'm not in a good place right now. My surgery got cancelled. It's knocked me for 6. The whole reasoning behind it and everything. And just needed to, I'm not in a good, so I thought, you know what, let me come and talk football so I could hear what you guys were talking about and blow off some steam before I have to go to the neurologist.
First time ever, me and Kuva are not on the same page.
Yeah, shut up, you.
It's one of the first time Kuva and I disagree with a lot with football. It's the first time that Kuva and I have been on the same wavelength.
So you corrupted my Coovs.
So listen, I'll give you my take on this, and then you can carry on the conversation. I'm so sick and tired of sacking managers. I'm so sick to death of doing this. I'm sick to death since Pochettino. oh, this one is the last chance, this one's the last chance, this one's the last chance, this one's the last chance. And then, oh, it's a solution, it's a process, we've got to build, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. It's a new manager, we have to get... It's all fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
All the big managers, all the clubs that do something and go somewhere, give a manager time. We have a manager we have a chairman and an owner who is an absolute vile human, a shit businessman when it comes to the football inside, and doesn't give managers time. So if we sack this one, whether you love him or you hate him, we're going to go through the same process, and the people that say, oh, it's the last chance, this manager, will say this manager will come in, oh, this one's the last chance, it's a rebuild, it's a process, we have to go through this again. And I guarantee you, in 18 bloody months to 2 years, we're all doing exactly the same stream. This manager hasn't got a clue. Get rid of this one, do this, do that, and bring another one in. But the same man that's at the top of the tree that keeps fucking us over gets away with it. Gets away with it.
Language.
It does not matter what happens. All the managers, your Klopps, your Guardiolas, your Wengers, your Fergusons, yes, they had money. Yes, they had this. They all came close to getting the sack, or maybe not Klopp. They all had time. Granted, they had a chairman that would back them and give them what they need. People going on about Arteta as well. Yes, Arteta was given time, but I guarantee you, if it hadn't been for COVID and fans had got into that stadium and echoed Arteta out, they probably would have got the job done.
Well, they've been trying to United with Ten Hag, and he's still there.
There's one thing you're saying, Aki, and it's one of the first times we're not agreeing on something. All the managers you just mentioned all have built projects. They're all project managers. So we're asking for another manager who's never built a team to build a team. He doesn't do it.
Yeah, but Ben, if we sack this manager,
incorporate this into this, guys. I think Ilmatic is
exactly. This is absolutely spot on. We go through it again. We hire another manager. We hire who? Amarin from Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, but he's rejected a few people. I think that guy. Yeah. That's a real project manager. That's a guy that actually wants to stay where he is and build something.
Well, this is the thing. You get him in, or whoever's coming in. Like I said, I wanted Thomas Frank before.
Frank would be the perfect manager.
Yeah, but the thing is, we bring in Thomas Frank, who's won nothing, done nothing. Yes, he plays good football. Yes, I wanted him before Ange. He comes in, he ain't won anything. So then we've sacked a manager that has won things. Well, yes, it's at other leagues. We bring in another manager that hasn't won things. He won't get backed. Then 18 months later, I guarantee it. Remember, October the 25th is always a huge day for me. Always a huge day in the calendar for me, because it becomes another year anniversary that I'm leaving out, because it was the day Martin Jol got sacked. Since then, we've had so many managers. Only Pochettino has seen out his contract, and even when he got a new one, he didn't get anything for 18 months. So you bring in another manager, whoever it may be. I'll hear loads of people that said, oh, this is Levy's last chance for the last 4 managers. Say it again. We will be here. We have to give a manager time. If it hasn't worked, then at least you can say he had the time. This is Ange's problem. This is Ange's fault. He had the time.
Stop talking then, Brian.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. In press conferences, this is the thing as well. In press conferences, people got pissed off with Jose and Antonio going, oh, it's this, it's that. It's been so dull and repeating. Then we get someone being positive, but the bloody idiot is ultra positive.
We just need a sensible manager, Brian. We need someone sensible. Someone that's not going to be overly defensive, like a Jose or a Conte, and someone that's not going to be so gung-ho that it's ridiculous. Like this reminds me of Bielsa football. Leeds fans adored Bielsa. Bielsa was in charge of Leeds. He got them almost.
He's the guy that's been thrown out there, hasn't he? Because he did the exact same thing at Leeds, right?
Exactly. He didn't change change at all. He went within a year, Brian. He had a great first year.
Listen, there are all valid points. They are all valid points. But take every other football club right out now and think Tottenham Hotspur. That's sacking a manager 18 months and not giving him what he needed helped us in any way. In
The
any
counter-
way whatsoever. What have
the
we achieved
counter-
by doing it?
The counter I will make to that is, does that mean we should have backed Ryan Mason for a
Okay.
full-time job?
Or
Maybe
Nuno
maybe
Espirito Santo.
That's to be the right manager, doesn't it?
You just don't know that. Right, obviously, Ryan Mason, completely unexperienced, had about 6 games. Take Nuno for example. No one wanted him. I didn't want him. The only good thing Nuno did is, for the first time ever, I got to hear, and I was present for the best thing I heard in that stadium. Levy out was chanted properly for the very, very first time. But we went and every single manager we went for, we turned down. We got rid of. Nuno came in. No one wanted him. Everyone knew he weren't right for the job. He screwed up. And the thing is, this is how bad it is as this football club. The second, I want to hear Levy out being chanted loud and proud again, because it's the only thing that will do anything to get this bastard out. But the second we do that, the pussy that Levy is, rather than standing by his manager and going like they did with Arteta and going, do you know what? I'm standing by this guy. This is our guy. Levy will do what Levy. So even if I want Levy out chanted, it's going to do more damage than good, because Levy will sack Ange. And then we go through this again.
But come on, Brian, that's only his last form of line of defence, isn't it? First, he can turn the music up.
Oh, no, yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. Mate, I just can't, mate. I haven't got it in me. I just don't get I do not get what happens and then if we sack him, if we do sack him, let's say we sack him before January, the January window will come. Do you know what, January, it's hard to get players in. So we're not going to be big here. We're going to go for it in the summer. We go to the summer, the same shit happens. I sacking him out, to me, like I said, I could be wrong. My personal opinion is sacking a manager gets us absolutely nowhere apart from resetting the clock. Levy's got one more chance, and then in 18 months we're here again. That's, I mean, like I said, I could be completely wrong. I just don't have it in me to see what this achieves.
You've never done that to a manager, though, Brian. So it's consistent. It's not like you're flipping and flopping. You're consistent with your views.
Yeah, I'll never.
I've been consistent with my views since the Arsenal game. Is that I said he'd be gone at Christmas because of the way we defend corners. You can't defend corners like that. It's unbearable that we can't defend a corner after 12 months. It's not acceptable.
And I've also been consistent in my views, and that I said I will flip-flop. As soon as I change my mind, I'll go with that. I think you're entitled to as a fan.
Yeah.
So I've gone from Ange fully in, all aboard the Ange train. I've seen 12 months of it now. I do not believe in the direction we're going, so I've changed my mind about him. I'm gutted. I really wanted him to work. He said everything I wanted to hear. Started off, I thought life was incredible, but reality then seeps in. And reality, I mean, the results you've actually been seeing, experienced, and they're logged there as factual events. That's the reality check. It's getting worse. It is getting worse. People can say it's not, but the facts are there. You can measure this. The league table does that for you. So the question is, do I see enough there to believe he's going to break this trend? And no, I don't. I really don't. Two of our best players, Sonny and Maddison, in this system are now struggling to get time on the ball.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah, Udoggy's playing as a number 10.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Maddison needs to be dropped.
I'm not going to blame Maddison. He gets the ball he's having to drop so deep. He's not in the position he's supposed to be in. He's dropping so deep
to work in those positions. Yeah, to work in those positions in this system, you need a David Silva type, somebody who's incredibly good with close control, capable of just skipping around a player. It's not really Maddison's game, that.
So Patty's asking this question here now. Question is, who do we get in? I know we were going to discuss this later and bring it in, but I am going to bring it in because I want to see where you guys take this part of the conversation. Coobs, I'll start with you. Do you think someone comes in, and is there someone out there that can impact our team immediately with the players that we have?
It's pointless to give individual names because we don't influence who comes in anyway. But if it were down to me, just look for those managers around. There's plenty of them. Those motivational managers that get down to basics. A Harry Redknapp, a Martin Yole. Even I've said it before, even a Sam Allardyce, as much as stick as he gets, the basics of the game he did well. Organise a defence, get some shape in the team, and work well with what you've got. That's what's needed right now with this team, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even enjoy what I'm watching at the moment. All we've got is this congested midfield that doesn't create anything worthwhile. We're relying on wingers that are substandard. For me, I'd drop both wingers, both sides. Play two up front. Play Solanke and Sonny up front as a two. Get the wing backs involved, because Udogie going as an out-and-out overlapping wing back, I think he can be turned into a good player again, because he's going.
He was fantastic
he's
at
going
Udinese
backwards
as a left wing back. That's what he's good at. Using
Porro's
his
made
pace and
for that.
power, going at your fullback, whipping the ball in the box, and arriving late to score goals. That's what Udogie's good at. He's not a footballer. He's an athlete. It's what he's good at.
This is what a lot of people are saying. It's Ange's inverted fullback system. That's a bit of the problem too, right?
Porro's our best crosser in
One
the
second, just
team.
want to shout out Jim here for the super chat. Appreciate that. Sometimes you have to go backwards to move forward. So appreciate that. I'm sure that's unfortunately where we are, Jim, but I think it's the lack of quick forward progress that's frustrating a lot of people. And of course, we do with every super chat membership.
I'd love Jim to be absolutely right on this. I really would. I think he knows that. I would love Ange to have worked out.
Yeah,
but I do not see those
proves at the end of the day.
I don't even see those grains of optimism that make me think this is going to go forward.
You know the sad thing about it.
Wait, 1 second, Brian, before you get into that, we do got to thank Jimbo here.
Yippee! Thanks for the super chat. Who's awesome? You are.
There you go. Go for it.
Yeah, no, the sad thing about Spurs, and this is, I was talking to Ben, we are Tottenham Ben, and we're talking yesterday, and I said to him, do you know what? Spurs always have the right team for the previous manager.
Yep.
And if you look at it now, and I was talking about, I said, if you had this back five,
hard to argue.
If you had this back five, it would be a wet dream for Antonio Conte. I'm not saying I want Conte back, because I don't. But then if you had Solanke and then Kulusevski and Son doing the inverted part that they did with Kane in Kulusevski's first 6 months, you'd have the back five he wanted. Son, Kulusevski and Solanke doing what Son, Kane and Kulu did. Obviously, you've lost the quality of Kane. And then all you'd need is Conte's midfield. Every single time we have a team ready for the previous manager 2 years later.
Yeah.
It's like, for God's sake, and you look at it, and like I said, the amount of times, and you bring in another manager, if you look at it, and I've said this so many times, Spurs hire an attacking manager, get rid of a manager, hire a defensive manager. That doesn't work. We go back to an attacking manager.
Isn't that the justification for people like Kuva even jumping off the train now, getting pissed off? It's that because where's the direction? There's no symbiosis to say that this is the way we're going. There's no unity everywhere from the top to the bottom. There's such a division. That's what's causing this fan base to basically be splintered apart. It's causing us to question our manager. Levy has done a genius job at deflecting as much as he can off of himself because, again, sack the manager in 18 months. He's the scapegoat. Let's start again. Pressure's off of Levy because the new manager is coming in. We're expecting changes. We got to give it time. We've got to let the dust settle before we start judging, blah, blah, blah. The top of the food chain. This is where the issue is. But I just want to thank Steve's 9-month member chap. Appreciate that, Steve. You've been here right since the beginning. Always support us. Darkness before the dawn, and that is true, my friend.
Yippee! Thanks for the super chat. Who's awesome? You are.
So the other thing I'll just quickly add to that part about the man, because then what happens with defensive, attacking, defensive, is we hire an attacking manager like we have just now. We clear out all the deadwood and defensive players that we don't need because we got the attacking manager and he plays this way. Then we'll sack this one. And unlike Liverpool, who'll go Klopp, attacking manager, or they've always gone attack-minded and they keep to the same philosophy. Then if we sack Ange, I guarantee we'll hire in a defensive manager. And then we got too many bloody attacking players.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to get rid of the attacking players that the manager doesn't want, and we can't get rid of them because of the price. Then we'll bring in a load of defensive players, and then straight back from that, he won't work. Then we're getting in. Look,
isn't that what we just did, Brian? lose
we
a
always do.
boatload of money on a lot of our signings.
It's what we always do.
What was it between Lo Celso,
That's why I said before, we need a sensible manager. We need a manager that can play any sort of formation.
We
need an adaptable manager. We always seem to go for either this or that. Why can't we just have something in the middle? A manager when we need to be more defensive against bigger
because
teams.
we don't have direction, Ben. There's nothing to say that this is the direction we're all going in. Everybody is saying Ange has changed the systems from the youth level going up now to the senior system, where the youth are incorporating this gung-ho flying football system and everything is being incorporated. There is a project now in place. We're nowhere near completion, that's for sure. Again, that's where the arguments come back from people like myself that are on this side that's saying Arteta and Klopp, they were given the time. Klopp was the only one out of them that his head wasn't called for. We all know half the fan base from Arsenal were calling for Arteta's head, right? That's the difference. But I can see why people are getting frustrated, and I can see why people are saying we need to give him time because the fan base has been so divided over the years, and this has been great by the Spurs board. This is exactly what they've managed to do. We're so busy fighting with each other that we're not looking at the realities of the overall picture. The overall picture is just a gray smokescreen. I want to shout out Jim, 10-month member, one of the I think Jim was the very first member or second member. His darling wife was a member. Then she decided to leave, but she was gifted a membership by our dear friend Peter in the chat the other day, and then pretended, oh, I didn't know how I didn't have a membership. Ooh, I was busy with Mickey Hansen. Ooh. But Jim, it's for you, big guy.
Yippee! Thanks for the super chat. Who's awesome? You are.
Big up Jim and Kate as well.
Oh, big up.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Kate's being nice to me. It's you guys that she doesn't. Okay, big up Kate.
Yeah, it's just football stuff though. Get on to the non-football stuff that we're in again.
No, yeah, that's it. So, okay. So the Boff and Jicky Murnick were walking through Shake. Okay, no, not that one.
No.
Now, Coos, now we wanted you to basically, this was kind of like your outlet into the whole Ange out thing. Now, with hearing the conversations through Brian, through me, people in the chat and the comments and everything like that, have you swayed at all? Have you been put on the maybe fence, or you are hard, fast, that's it? I've jumped off the train. I'm watching it roll away. Something needs to change drastically.
Well, there's two ways. Either the results and the way we're playing the game changes. I can't see that happening because we all know Ange is never going to change.
He won't change.
Will never change. I don't see how we're going to turn that around. So for me, like I said, I don't believe in sacking managers either. But if it's a normal club, but at this club, everybody's doomed to failure anyway. So you've got to roll the dice and hope for that blind bit of luck that somebody comes in and manages to pull off a few miracles under this diabolical ownership. Yeah. Pochettino did it, Redknapp did it, Yol did it. We need another person like that. Comes in, does the basics. It makes the players enthused about what they're doing, try and get some sort of order in it all. I don't see this working under Ange.
Are you saying that basically, Coobs, we need somebody that's going to exceed expectations?
Yeah, basically. That's all we've got.
And 4 miracles.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm under no illusions about that.
We now seem to be going under a youth project. We need a manager that
works. Aren't playing, Benny.
What?
But they're not playing.
No, but that's what the club is doing. They're buying young players. So
we're buying investments.
Yeah, we haven't got a manager. We haven't got a manager.
How is that Ange's fault?
He says every signing that comes through the door, he's okayed.
He's okaying them, but that doesn't mean that. What is he supposed to say? What Conte did? No, I don't want them.
Surely the club's supposed to provide for the manager to do his job.
Yeah.
You'd like to hope so. But Big Kate, 7-month membership chat here. If we all noticed, Jim's was 10, guys. If you noticed, Jim's was 10. Just saying, not trying to say anything. But big up, Kate. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yippee! Thanks for the super chat. Who's awesome? You are.
This is the thing that doesn't make sense to me. If we're doing a project and we got the manager that the project is centered around, then why are we buying players that aren't for him and they're for the club instead?
Can I just
ask one thing on one hand, one thing on another?
What about this Robbie? Sorry, go ahead,
one quick question. I just want to ask you one quick question.
And of course.
When was that video of medium K taken? Because that's not the medium K that I saw.
Oh no, that's from.
That's a very old video.
Yeah,
No,
he's been promoted.
That's 6 months ago, maybe.
Okay, yeah, I promoted him on Sunday to medium K.
That's only because it's almost
that is not the person I saw Sunday.
Yeah, he's had some crazy great growth spurt size. It's 7 inches in like a year, man. So he'll be as tall as you and I soon, Brian. Not to worry, man. But that way he could drive us around shortly and cater to us. But I like Robbie's point here. I'm not Ange out because I don't want to see the cycle repeat itself. I guess that's where I'm at, Robbie. I just don't want to see the cycle repeat itself because it's been fruitless. Since Pochettino, it's been the exact same thing, it's getting painful. But I do agree because you're sitting here and also agreeing with Ben and Coos in the fact that you don't like the fact that he contradicts himself.
He's never going to change. He's never going to change. He's never going to change. And I can understand having a philosophy. Pep Guardiola has a philosophy.
Yeah, but he didn't change before, Ben, and it ended up working out.
But he does change. He changes. Every season, Pep Guardiola changes. Last season, they played 4 at the back. This season, they're playing 3 at the back. The season before, they played Stones in midfield and they change every year.
And they usually have those slow starts to seasons where he's experimenting with something to see if he can incorporate it later in the season. And if it doesn't work, he reverts back then. But he does try different things.
Ange plays.
What about this, guys?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need a top manager.
No,
because we're all sitting here saying Poch was really our true last manager that we all supported. Am I wrong in saying that?
Top manager at the time, Bobby. He was.
No, but I'm saying he's the last one that I know I got fully behind, and I thought this guy's going to bring us to greatness. This was a guy that I could see here for the next decade. Hopefully, he's going to be with us. That was the last one that
we need a manager that's going to grow with the team. We need a manager that's going to get these youth players and put them into his system. It's going to be really, really rough under this youth set. But players like Archie Gray, Kuva said it. Kuva said it in a chat yesterday. I was terrified what we're going to do with Archie Gray, and you'll start. He's only going to play him against Coventry.
Yeah.
He's not. If we lose against
we'll ruin him. Yeah.
If we play against Coventry and we lose against Coventry with Archie Gray, all the flack's going to go on Archie Gray. That's terrible management. Jed Spence they were raving about Jed Spence. Look how much his attitude's improved. His performances are improving. First game of the season.
Here he is. He's back again, Mr. Board.
Yeah, Mr.
This guy is one of the biggest fools I've ever seen. Just block him. This Ricardo Osvaldo just comes into every single.
I think he's already gone.
Gone. Good, because all he does is runs his mouth like this. Will never come on a show. Thinks he's clever from repeating the same old thing, but I guarantee has done nothing, and I mean nothing.
Sorry, what's the name? Brian will ban him.
Ban him.
I think he's already gone.
He changed his name from Ricardo Osvaldo 73 to 74, 75, 76.
Oh, no, but Jacob's already on his ass. He already booted him. Thanks, Jacob.
It's all he does. It's all
Jacob's not here just to give us shit.
No, I don't mind people coming in and attacking my footballing opinion, my views on leading, my view. Fine, but he just comes in with the one-liner thing in every single channel.
Yeah.
Every single.
Okay, don't give it any more air then. That's it. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Full.
Wow, and just the shittiest manager in the Prem. Stuart, you got some support here.
He's not the shittest manager in the Prem. I won't say that to him. He's not the shit. But adaptation is brilliant. You should always change. Change. Not even Pep Guardiola plays the same team every week to every single team and says, "This is the only way we played. This is how I'm playing." Little tweaks every week. You've got to adapt to your opposition. You've got to. You have to. If you're a box, I know this is it's Johnny's analogy on Ange management. If you're a boxer and you're fighting a one that likes to be up and close to you, you don't just going to say, "Oh, I'm just going to thump him." No, you study your opponent and you know what they're going to do, which is what everyone else is doing. Since Gary O'Neill put on Monday Night Football, this is how you play against Ange football. Every single team that plays against us plays exactly the same way. Exactly the same way.
You look at some of those really great managers, Mourinho, Ferguson. They were prepared to change tactics during a game, during a first half. They wouldn't even shy away from pulling a player off the pitch and replace them when they see it's not working. Ange isn't going to change
Dyer, 20 minutes into a game at one point, didn't he?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to bid you a farewell. I've got to get ready for my
get going. You want to channels? What's coming up?
Listen. I'm going to have a couple of days off from Tottenham on tour and evening brew because I need to calm down. I wanted to come on and wish you guys. I'm getting off now. Just saying my goodbyes. Ilana's come in and given me a death stare. I've got proof that I put it in the private chat. I've got to go. Just wanted to come on and wish you guys happy 1,000 or congratulations, and just have my very quick view on this. I will be doing a reaction to the commentary game. There is a From the Heart coming out from me at 8 p.m. Ben, UK time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. said it for. Like I will say, final comment on this: we get nowhere, and I mean absolutely nowhere with hiring and firing. Yes, it might get shitty, but I'd rather stay and see what a manager can do than rather than repeat the same shit over and over again and hear the same crap from people saying that it'll be different this time. I'm going to change this time. This time it will be more Levy out. This time it will be this. This time it will be that. It makes no difference. Keep the manager. Give him time. It may not work out. I may have egg on my face, but we get nowhere. There's a actual proof that we've got nowhere with keep firing managers. So I will say, as always, there's only one man that deserves blame. There is only one man that deserves criticism. There is only one man that should be forced out of this football club to stop history repeating itself. And that man, just as always, is Levy out. Ta-da.
Thanks, Brian. Take care, buddy.
Back in a couple of seconds, boys. Back in a couple of seconds.
Cool.
Sam Allardyce criticism. Yeah, sure. He's not a popular choice. I'm just saying what he does is very underrated, what he's done his whole career. And the things he will bring to a team like ours is he'd at least give us some shape. He'd give us organisation at the back, and he'd be able to make use of the players we got. I'm not saying he's the greatest manager.
Jordan's agreeing with you.
I'm just saying this is what we need right now. We need some shape and organisation. And so the point when we do have to defend anything, forget this high line talk, forget the set pieces talk. What I've seen this season as well is players getting back into the box and failing to even pick an attacker up. Against Newcastle, first goal, they had 2 attackers in the box. We have 5 defenders in there. Both of their attackers are marked. That's basic stuff that we're still not doing. That is coaching. We're not getting that, clearly. Not well enough.
That's what DB is here saying. If he would change his tactic, he adapted, show me that you are actually being a manager, I could get behind you. Very, very fair point. Steven Siegel, Steven Siegel, I like that. We don't even have a manager currently. It's just a clown pretending. Basically, anyone who can set up a team is an improvement. So, lots of support.
If fails against Leicester, we throw away points. Yeah, fails against Leicester, throw away points.
Hey,
let's do exactly the same next game. Everton, hey, easy then, isn't it? Then again, because everybody beats them 4-0 or 3 or 4-0, whatever, anyway. Then we play Newcastle, who can defend. We don't look like we could score if we play for 2 weeks, relying on own goal. Against Arsenal, we don't look like we could score if we played for 2 weeks against them either. But let's keep playing exactly the same thing over and over. It's going to get better. Clearly, we're improving. No, we're not.
Appreciate it, Dan. Thank you.
Insanity is doing the same.
1 second here. Dan just sent us a nice little comment here. Love to hear another great show on Channel 9 today. Dan, I warn you now, this is the only show you're going to want to watch then, the ATF one, the Actually Talks Football one, or the preview show with Little K, my son and Ellie that do it. The Saturday night show we do has absolutely nothing to do with football. So if you want quality football content, don't tune in on a Saturday night when we do Spot the Bull, because that is just boys in the pub. Yeah. Being our childish
Dan
self.
Gaze is a lovely fella. I'm going to put Dan Gaze's link in. Dan does loads of things with loads of amazing people. He does so much work for mental health. He's got an unbelievable channel.
He was on your channel. He was on Tottenham on Tour.
Yes. He's
incredible Okay.
He's an absolutely incredible human being.
Yeah, good guy.
I'm going to drop his
Good guy.
link in the chat.
Drop
So
his link.
I
100%.
absolutely tell you to go over to his chat and subscribe. He does so much brilliant work for people. It's got a brilliant channel. So I've put the link in there. Absolutely wonderful.
Angus
wonderful
is just
human
asking if
being.
we said
Go over
Kuva
there.
is better
Go
with
over
Saka.
there.
Yeah, get over to Dan, show him some support. Angus is saying we all said Kuva's better than Saka. Do we still believe that? Yes. Screw you, Angus.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with Kuva. Doing insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah.
What we're doing at the moment.
In fact, you could do the same thing over and over again if you saw gradual improvement. But like I said, the facts are there. We are getting worse. It doesn't matter what you see with your eyes. You can ignore that. Look at results. It's a results-based industry at the end of the day. If you are not getting those results, then whatever you are doing is not working. You then look at why it's not working. Doing the same thing again and it's not working. Perhaps change it.
No, just keep trying. Eventually it'll work.
Yeah, the only way you can do that is if you sign better quality players.
Inna Hype is asking here, if we sign Conte's how does not transfer to improving the defense? We might have signed the type of players he would have wanted in his system, but we're not playing his system.
We got our back five. Conte would love our back five.
You're not the only one, buddy.
People also say that it was only the fact we couldn't finish against Arsenal that meant we lost. I would argue the point that if we did have any danger to our attacks, Arsenal would have stepped it up a gear and attacked better than they did. They knew they could just sit back and be patient because we will make this mistake eventually. And we're easy to defend
didn't
against.
even get into first gear at the weekend. They were in neutral the entire game, coasting down.
The piss off was after going down 1-0 and seeing no fight. That to me was the biggest piss off.
But the manager said
this game doesn't need anybody that was just like grabbing the rest of the team and saying, "Let's go." Even Sonny, you're the captain. You should be grabbing these guys by the throats and saying, "Get your heads up now. Let's go."
But it goes back, the manager said this game doesn't mean any more than any other game, and I don't want my players to want to win this game more than any other game. He said it.
Kuva said that earlier. What Kubes, what do you think about here about the question from Jacob here? Was Conte right about him in his presser? Because we're literally doing what he trolled us for again, and being exactly what he didn't like when he showed the mirror.
Well, that was the horrible truth with Conte, wasn't it? He told a lot of home truths, and people either lauded him for it or hated him for it. But he did speak about it. So many simple things. Getting the 2 quality players in each window to improve a team. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? You want to improve your squad, get better players than what you currently have. You don't fill out the squad with players you're not going to pick. That's not going to improve you. So there's that part's right. And then the character of the team. He's dead right on that. And when he then can apply that to the ownership.
I was going to say, they're the ones that have taken that out, though.
That's the one. That is the biggest one of the lot. When he asked, you have to ask, what do you want for your club? 5th place, 7th, 4th. What is it you want? Make up your mind. And look, there's the one thing I've loathed about Enoch and Levy all the way through. They have never set out any sort of purpose to what we're doing. There's never sort of any target. The only things they ever come out with is we're looking to improve the playing staff and the infrastructure of the club, and hope in the aim to be competitive. What does competitive mean? Every single damn club in the league does that.
Yeah.
Everything. It means nothing to say that. So it's complete waffle. And all that really matters is they're going to do whatever it takes to coast along while the money rolls in and they can finish their off-field projects and make huge money from the hotels and all the supporting features. We are basically a venue for sporting events, and the team is just the tenant at this thing. At some point, I dread to think of it, but I can see it happening. I think at some point the NFL becomes more important than the football team.
Yeah, if it already hasn't.
Yeah.
because they're on a major
long
push
did-
to get
how
global.
long-
But
how long
let's
did it
take a
take?
moment, Benny. Hold on, Benny. Hold on. Now let's take a moment. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo. How long did it take them?
This is correct from Stephen, right? It's the hearts are contributing to the lack of patience.
Yeah, should they?
It took so long to just put a Tottenham badge on the club shop. They put an NFL badge as soon as they wanted to. On the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it doesn't say Tottenham on it once. That's how little this ownership care about this football club. They don't care. It doesn't say Tottenham on the stadium once. The only sort of thing that says Tottenham on it, it's greyed out. And you said it on the other day. If it was you, Bobby, you'd make that cockerel nice and blue so it stands out on the background.
Yep.
Doesn't
There's
say
nothing.
Tottenham
There's nothing
once
there.
on the
It's grayed
stadium.
out. It's impossible to know, like unless you already know. But if you're just a random person walking by there, you would have to do some real hard looking to see what that building is and what it's for.
Also, I've got to say something. Terms Jacob and I, we're obviously clashing severely on stuff at the moment. Jacob is always going to be a good friend of mine. Love the bloke to bits, and I'll put on one of his videos just this morning when he's asking things. I said, "I'm Man Jake now." Jacob, on the other hand, is the flip side of the coin. He is the full sense of enthusiasm, optimism. The cheerleader for the club, and he's needed. I'm not going to dismiss his opinion because fans need that as well. There are lots of fans out there who want to stay positive and want to cheer the club, and I would say he is a better supporter of Spurs than I am. He might be in America, but he's a better supporter than I am. I'm a fan just like he is, but he really gets behind the team, and fair play to him for that. I respect that.
Okay, guys, there's a lot of nonsense kind of kicking off in the chat here. Can we just agree to disagree? It's getting personal with a lot of shit. We don't do that here, man.
Emotions are high. We lost the North London
we
derby.
Lost, guys. Let's not start taking it out on each other. You know, especially because we have difference in footballing opinions. I'm seeing the people that are doing it, and it's actually breaking my heart because I know a lot of you personally, and you're all great people. I just. It's not worth it, guys. Come on, you know you're all better than that. Okay, this is an old fella telling you as a dad and a big brother to some of you. You're better than that. Okay, it's better.
Exactly.
I'm Angus in here, but
exactly. I'm in conflict with people I absolutely love to bits in the chat.
You respect them. It doesn't mean you disrespect
at the end of the day.
Level.
Yeah,
exactly. That's all we ask, guys. Just don't get personal, please.
Yeah.
I beg you. There's a few in here I see now. You're wonderful people. You really are. You're good people. You raised right. Good quality individuals. Let's just leave it at right. Stephen, adding this, which is kind of what we've been touching on. It's a youth project with a manager who hates youth players, which understandably would add to the frustration and why so many people are saying get rid of him. Right? Why should Johnson over Gibbs White? Yeah, who knows, buddy. Okay, man, we're really behind here. 7th is worth 15th. Okay.
It's been busy today.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people viewing. Big up everybody that's tuned in as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure, oh shit, I'm supposed to do that YouTube thing. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and remember are available and super chats are available. And children, I forgot to use the children. I have 2 children to feed. Super chats help. Remember, you can help feed a little brown child today.
Yeah.
You've got to play the race card more, but do come again.
Oh, okay. Please do be liking and getting memberships and super chatting. We have a fooding to eating the kiddies.
Perfect.
Look at go. Spurs just announced a sponsorship deal with Campers.
Well, at least they'd be good at the back then.
Real football.
Yeah.
Oh man. So guys, we did have this set up here. I still want to know who comes in. Who comes in for you? Who Who comes in?
I would happily take any current bright young manager that's wants to play some attacking football, but has an appreciation.
Do you want a project manager? Do you want somebody that's going to impact us right now?
Impact right now. What the team needs to lift right now and need to believe we're actually in what we're doing and the players we got. It's got to be both at the same time, unfortunately.
That's what I'm. It's got to be just a sensible manager, just a sensible manager, not one that's ultra defensive like a Conte or a Mourinho, and not one that's ultra attacking like an Ange Postecoglou. Just someone who's right down the middle, someone that's going to do a bit of both. It's what you need.
Thomas Frank, I'll be happy with.
Thomas Frank's a good one. People say, "Oh, he doesn't win anything."
A lot of people have actually been bringing his name up. You showed him Southgate not happily. A lot of
his name is Gareth N14. Gareth N14. Big up N14.
And if you do look at the defense being the strongest part and think work on that, and you bring in someone like a Thomas Tuchel, I wouldn't, but. If that's the way you're going to go,
Thomas Tuchel would be another Conte for this football club. We just need a sensible manager.
He is a Spurs fan, though, isn't he?
He is, amazingly.
That helps. That really would help.
He actually understands the football club because he supported them. He understands it. But I said it in the summer. I suggested when I was on We Are Tottenham TV that a good signing for an Ange Postecoglou team would be Raheem Sterling because he's everything that Postecoglou wants. Left winger. Gets in at the back post, finishes his dinner. He's done it his entire career,
and he's got good feet. He can dribble past players,
and he can get round. He can get round people.
Yeah.
The amount of people, Sterling's dusted. He's shit. He's this. He's that. He's finished. He's on too high wages. Blah 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 blah. And they're going to say the same thing about someone like a Graham Potter. Graham Potter, with this squad of players, would be a very good manager. Every team that he's managed, he has young talent that he molds into a team. That Brighton team he managed was brilliant.
So why don't we just try to find out who Brighton is looking at for their next manager and get that guy? Because they seem to get it right.
Graham Potter would be a good manager for these young players. He's done it at Ostersund's and he did it at Brighton. Yes, he failed at Chelsea, but how many other managers have failed at Chelsea under this ownership of Chelsea? It's one that loads of managers have bad jobs in certain places. It's just for the young players, I think he would be a very decent manager for these young players. He's done it everywhere he's been. Young players, he's a good manager for them. I don't necessarily think he's the best manager, but for this squad we have, because I'm taking it into context with this, we don't give Graham Potter superstars. That's not his bag. He's not a superstar manager, but he's not going to get superstars at Tottenham. If we were going to get superstars, we would have brought in an Eze instead of an Archie Gray. We would have brought in an Ivan Toney. We don't buy superstars. We buy young players and turn them into Champions League quality players. The academy has already said this. It's from the ground up. This is what the academy have been told by the club they wish to do. And that, if you look, all of Liverpool's best players that they've signed from either Brighton or Southampton. Virgil van Dijk, a perfect one. They bought him from amount of players. Adam Lallana's. They bought Mane's.
From there.
Manager that it works with younger players and turns them into superstars. That is the manager.
Even the Brighton, look at all the players that have come out of there. Oh, there's Basuma, Cucurella, everything. They've still got Matoma and everything. Been great players.
Everyone says how good De Zerbi was. He built off the back of a Graham Potter team.
Yeah, the key is if you're going to buy in young players like that, you actually play them. We don't.
That's it. I'm in for a few more weeks at least. Patty says we're down to 998. We've blocked fellas. I'm not blocking anybody. I'm just actually going along here. So for the mods that are doing that, I trust my mods. Hopefully they're banning people that are just basically stupid. We try to keep things positive and happy around here. But the final plus Brian's out. But to all the best. Yeah, Brian, a lot of love going towards Brian. Hopefully, he didn't have his surgery, Rob. It was postponed. He got screwed over yesterday, and Basically, he's got to reschedule here.
Absolutely.
Dr. Johnny saying first time kids to Steve was flying, but all these elite EPL months gets found out. Yeah, we asked this earlier, Johnny, that time. We're not too sure if it's basically a combination of him being figured out or him just kind of not changing, not shifting and adapting the way he needs to in this league on a consistent basis, right? So.
Yeah. But if you go to me at my dream manager, if I had a dream manager if I could pick any manager in the world, there's only one manager I would pick. I'd love to have Eddie Howe as the Tottenham manager. I'd love to have Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe, we should have picked up years ago. He is a fantastic coach. He's a brilliant, brilliant coach. I'd love to have him at Spurs. But he's got a really good...
You've got to say Vincent Kompany's doing
Vincent Kompany's doing a fantastic... I know it's only been 4 games and you've got to take it into context. Look at the football they're playing. They're playing crazy good football. I wish we played football as good as Vincent Kompany.
The sheer turnaround he did at Burnley, turning them from that grinding long ball team into a fantastic footballing team in 1 year, instant promotion straight into the Premiership. That is a great achievement because that's a massive turnaround in what he's doing at a club. And it wasn't with top big name players either, was it?
Yeah.
Burnley.
Roy Hodgson's available, boys. Angus is kind enough to let us know. Angus, you got to be one of the only Gooners I actually really like out there. The sacking club. Yeah, you get a reputation of sacking club. No serious manager is going to come here. Exactly, Johnny. This is where we're at. This is why I asked the question of the guys here, and I ask you in the chat.
When we get serious managers,
don't tell me who you want to get in. Tell me who you really think would actually come. 5 games, 6, 8 games into the season, when they have no power to change or adapt the squad, have to take what they've been given and work this and change these players and have them fit into a new system possibly. Who's that guy? Coobs. Who's your number one? Who's the name that's available out there that's a realistic target that you think could shape this squad?
It's kind of pointless, isn't it? Who would I pick? I'm not the bloody owner, so it doesn't matter what I choose, does it?
I know. I just out of it doesn't me out of going to the mind.
I'm going to go with Thomas Frank then because he can organise a team and get the best out of what he's got. Yeah,
Thomas Frank's a perfect manager for Tottenham. He's a perfect manager for Tottenham. Sensible, organises a team, gets the best out of what he's got, improves players. Look how good Mbeumo and Visser are. No one heard of Mbeumo and Visser. He's turned them into fantastic players. Fantastic players.
But then again, that's a crapshoot too, right? Like we let's face it, when Ange was first appointed, these conversations were all being had. Oh, he's only won in Japan, he's only won in Scotland, he's not a proven manager, this and that. We need somebody proven, he's not going to be good and everything. And those people that said all that are now saying, see, told you so. But there's a lot of us in the fan base that got very excited because, like you already said, Kuva, yourself, this guy came in with the right energy. He was saying all the things we wanted to hear. He was feeding it to us, and we were eating it up. And we jumped on it.
It only gets you so far, though, Bobby.
And you can that's where we're at now, right? Has that shine is run off, right? It's rubbed off.
You can spread as much butter on as you want on your bread. Eventually, it's going to get soggy unless you get another piece of bread. It's going to get soggy. He's so much butter. The bread is broken. We've got to start seeing some results now. We've got
this
to
is Dan's
start
channel, folks. If you get over there and show him some love, much appreciated. Go ahead, keep going, Betty.
We've got to start seeing some results now. We've got to be able to defend a set piece. It's simple. I know it's not asking a lot. It shouldn't be asking a lot to be able to defend a set piece. All these individual errors, and you can say, oh, individual errors are not down to coaching. Then play a system where make them coach them as a unit. They've got to act as a unit. They're not acting as a unit. It looks like it looks like 11 individuals out there. They don't look like a team.
That's it. It's not just the set pieces. It's just defending, as the art of defending. We're not good at it.
And he doesn't care about it. It's mad. We can't defend. But get hit on a transition, they're through on goal.
No, take away that bit. That's going to happen because we played that high risk game anyway. So I'm accepting that can happen. But what absolutely mortified by is when we do have all the players back and still don't defend it, and still players are free. Defenders have turned off. It should be automatic. There should be a sense of leadership back there at all times. Clearly, it's not happening. If the coach isn't sorting that out as a priority, we're always going to ship cheap goals, and it's going to cost us because we do not score enough goals to compensate for it. Despite what Ange is saying, if Ange was actually built this attack that's amazing and we're scoring bagloads of goals, I'd be loving this. I'll be lapping it up. I'll be saying, brilliant, bring on the 7-6 wins every week. I'll be in heaven.
But as you say in the back end, Kuva, this reminds you of AVB's team without Bale. Can't defend, can't attack, poor in midfield. It's just a mess.
It's a song, isn't it? We can't defend, we can't attack. We've got VDV at the back.
Yep. Emerson Royale is our wing back.
Oh, he's gone now, so I changed it to VDV.
I miss Emerson Royale. At least he was funny. I miss his TikToks. Bring back Emerson. We were all happy when Emerson Royale was here.
He fits in perfectly with a team that can't defend.
So speaking of which, I haven't heard from Nick lately. How is he doing? Yeah, Conte was spot on, is what Peter is saying here. He was right with all the words that he said about the club and the ownership and everything before he left. But again, does that come down to the manager's issue or the board? It's the same merry-go-round back and forth, right? So,
why Levy runs the club?
My 2-member show, okay.
Have a couple of tough managers. Suddenly we get a brilliant manager who does really well for a few years. Levy takes his foot off the gas, and then we back in the merry-go-round. We had it. Obviously we had Christian Gross. Then we went to George Graham, and then we went to Glenn Hoddle. Then we went to Jacques Santini, and then we got a brilliant manager in Martin Jol who did very, very well for a few years. Did very well. He didn't get backed. Then he got sacked at halftime. Then we went on the merry-go-round again. This is what Levy. So if we keep sacking managers, eventually one's going to stick.
This is it right from the very start. Sacked George Graham, which although he's unpopular because he's an ex-Gooner and everything, but we just won us a trophy. And anybody who was around at the time then will know or remember he had actually turned us into a cup team again. We looked like we were going to win trophies that way. So to sack him and say we're going to bring back the Spurs way, and then appoint Hoddle, of course, God, and massively popular with the fan base. It was all just words from Levy. He made the marquee managerial signing, instantly pulls the rug from under him by not signing Samuel Eto'o or Fernando Morientes. Brilliant players that are all lined up, ready to sign. He decides to haggle at the last moment to get a cheaper price.
Paulo Dybala was ready to sign he was in the Tottenham Hotspur training ground.
Yeah.
Ready to sign the deal. Oh no, we're going to change your contract and take 30 grand off your
And then we end up with the Bobby Zamoras and the Helder Postigas of the world.
Or even worse, Clinton Njai.
Which is why I stick what I'm saying about the managers. You might as well keep sacking them and then just roll the dice and hope you get lucky with another one.
Just keep playing the game and hopefully you find one.
That's all we can do at this club.
It seems to be what happened with Poch, because I remember when he came in, a lot of people weren't too happy about it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of backlash from that. We're getting a Southampton manager, right?
I mean, we literally had Conte and Mourinho here. You have to Jose Mourinho at the club, and look what happened there. If we can't work with him to win something, we're not going to win anything. So forget that sort of optimism there. It's not happening.
Not fair enough. Angus is sitting here asking this question for you. Do you think I'm assuming this is about his team, Arsenal. If you think they'll win question for you is, do you think if we win the league this year, for example, if we actually did, do you think it'll change or will it stay the same? So I'm assuming by that he's saying if they go on to win the league, will we be pressured to finally actually make the appropriate adjustments to step up and go above them? We stayed in front of them for so long, but it doesn't seem like that's not the important thing anymore, right?
Levy doesn't care.
Yeah, Arsenal went into the wilderness for a little bit. They found their way out of it. They look like they're going to challenge each season now.
If Arsenal win the league, they deserve it. Because they've built a football team. They've picked the right manager. for the right club at the time. They brought in a project manager who's built the project. They've stuck with him when things got a bit tough. It's just they picked the right manager for their club at the time. We never picked the right man. Ange is not the right manager for this club. He's not the right manager.
That's why I go back and I ask you who's the right.
That's why I said project manager, a Star Wars project manager.
Who?
Thomas Frank, a Graham Potter, managers that work with youth players. Pochettino, when he was in his infancy, was a project manager.
Yeah,
we need a project manager. That's what suits Tottenham Hotspur because Levy doesn't change. We need a manager that's going to, like Kuva said, is going to make miracles. We need a project manager who's going to make these diamonds in the rough into shiny diamonds. That's what we need.
Yeah, to win something, we do need a miracle worker. There's no doubt about it. We need a modern age Brian Clough. I don't know who that would be nowadays.
Or what we need is because Arsenal before because Arteta was on the way out. He was on the way out about 3-4 years ago. Then they had the owner of Spotify wanted to buy Arsenal and he put serious money on the table and he got 5 club legends to buy the football club to help him run the football club. That's when Stan Kroenke stepped away because he's like, I am incapable of running a football club. And he put Josh in charge. Josh Kroenke then took over. And ever since Josh Kroenke took over, it's gone like that. Ever since, it's gone up.
Sickening, yeah.
As soon as Josh Kroenke took over the club, they've only gone up since then. They've not been they've gone steadily upwards. They're buying the right players. They've listened to the manager. Edu, for all the Arsenal fans complaining about Edu, he's buying the right players in for the football club. Players like Ben White have come in. Another Graham Potter. Shock. Another Graham Potter player that's come into the football club that's brilliant. Shock. Graham Potter knows how to coach players, everyone. Shock. He's bringing in players like Gabriel. He's bought players in like Saliba. Saliba wanted to leave. But Arteta, no, stick with us. He went on loan to Saint Etienne a few times in France. Brought him in. Saliba's one of the best centre-backs in the world. He's now brought in Calafiori. He's brought Calafiori in. Brilliant, brilliant. I wanted Calafiori all summer. I was desperate for Calafiori because he would improve our defence. Calafiori in this current Tottenham team would be brilliant. He's brought in players. The list goes on. Even Jorginho and Havertz, 2 players that people took the absolute piss out of. They look great. Havertz is one of the best players in the league in the last 2 seasons. Every Tottenham fan laughed at Arsenal for signing Havertz. Look how good he's been since Mikel Arteta. He's bringing in the right players at the right time. It's what we need.
One throughout here. Simon, I'm pretty sure it's Simon from Premier League. I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm pretty sure that is him, but he threw in Klopp as a name.
No,
now that's a challenge.
No.
That's a challenge, though, for him.
Jurgen Klopp has already said he won't manage another UK team.
Nice.
He's done it in.
No.
It would feel strange for him after all that time at Liverpool anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Kate would rather have
he won't come here. Eugene keeps asking.
Sorry, I'm still behind in the chat. I just realized. I'm like, oh my God, you guys.
He keeps asking, name another manager that would turn things around in a year. Most relevant to us will be Harry Redknapp. Took us over when we were at the bottom, drove us into the top.
Harry Redknapp had us playing attacking football in 3 games. He didn't need 12 months, no inverted nonsense. He took over a team that was dreadful and he made them a team.
Otherwise, look at Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Took over there in the bottom of the table, drove them up the table. Look at Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany takes over a Burnley team mid-table.
Was the manager of Borussia Dortmund, wasn't he, last year? Terzic got them to a final.
Okay.
Another one, Vincent Kompany. Another one, Vincent Kompany, Eugene. Burnley, mid-tables, lower division, doing nothing, crappy team. Turns it around back into the Premiership. People do it all the time.
I got like Jacob's comment here. If we get Southend, he's going to start exercising instead of YouTube. Please don't make me exercise.
I've got to jump, boys, because I've got to be home in 40 minutes to do an evening brews.
Yeah. You go do your thing. We're going to be wrapping up here shortly, anyways, buddy. Appreciate you joining us, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bobby, for having me on. Big up,
We'll see you
everyone.
tomorrow morning.
It's all football opinions at the end of the day. Don't get personal with people in the chat. All love. We all just think differently. And for the first time in the history of Spurs YouTube, Kuva and I agree on something. It's a magical thing.
And we disagree.
We can agree on lots of little things, mate.
Yeah, but all love. But thank you all so much for watching. And as always, Levy out. David Pleat, Blue Eye.
Wait.
Before you throw, make sure before you leave, you put your the coffee company link.
Okay, then.
Yeah, get on over to bed.
Here we go.
Too. Your ultimate place of chill, the coffee company. 3 p.m. for those of you in the UK, 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. for those of us over here. No, it's 2 p.m. 2 p.m. over there.
At 2 p.m., 3:30, Brewing Bollocks tomorrow.
Yep, we'll be there.
Catch you later, everyone. Levy out. David Play. If you smell what the coffee's brewing, all the catchphrases. Ciao for now.
There you go. And just like AJ said, we're all adults in here. Keep it football, getting personal. This is, guys, again, this is not our kind of normal forte here. Me and Coobs don't do shows like this. We kind of just keep it lighthearted and a little bit of fun. We just like to share different opinions.
I want to go back to being a happy clapper and saying we're the greatest team on earth again, but
like me.
Just do something, Spurs.
Spurs.
Oh, it'd be nice.
I'm actually shocked. You like, I know you said this the other day. I honestly thought you were half joking. I honestly did.
No,
I can't believe that you're that discouraged and you put off of it. At least it's
I'm so tired of feeling like this about the club. I tried to do my best last season to, big up everything and go crazy enthusiasm, but it just drags me down again. I just don't see where we're going. I really don't.
So the letdown from the hype is too much to handle now.
I hope people that are still backing Ange turn out to be right, but I cannot see it. I really do not see the way forward at the moment. All I see is pressing and hope. There's no other things there. Solanke, I feel really sorry for. He's walked into a team as a centre forward and a team that is not going to provide him with many chances. God, I just, it's depressing. It really is depressing. Just fucking fix things. That's all.
It's been kind of the echoed statement for a quarter of a century now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I've been saying Frank's football is awful to watch, though. Is that because of his tactics or the players he has?
A bit to do with the players, really, isn't it? I mean, he's working on the severe budget compared to most clubs, but he's getting the most out of them. Brentford, by all reasons, shouldn't really be in the Premiership. They're not a big club, but he's doing well with it. Same with Eddie Howe when he was at Bournemouth. He worked miracles because that's a tiny little club, and he kept him in the Premiership so long. The only reason they got relegated is because they actually finally had an injury crisis and a squad that wasn't big enough to cope with it. Horses for courses, and you've got to give credit to people in different circumstances. Right now, I'm like I said, I'm Ange out because I just simply cannot see what he's doing. I can't see how this is going to work. You've got to show perhaps there you go. There's the crumb of optimism. Perhaps he can change my mind again in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
I just don't see it.
You've said you're happy to flip flop right now. You're flopping.
I will flip flop. I will flip flop in the space of one game. If we're playing crap, I will call it out, and then we suddenly score a goal, and it's like, get in there. We're winning this all along, easy.
Yeah,
that's being a fan. You're supposed to be able to do that.
I gotta shout this name out first time in the chat. I love it, Billy the Id.
Yeah, great, big up, mate.
Xavi, a lot of people are saying Alonso. Yeah, he'd be project manager, young guy. He'd probably want to stick around a little while. Even company, right, would have been the guy. But like they say, even if you're trying to base it on history and how well Ange has done in Japan and Scotland and Australia, I think you're the one that said it, Coops. He's never really lasted more than 3 years somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So that's not really a project is not fulfilled and completed within 3 years. Not in the Premier League, at least.
But you would like to think you can see signs of improvement, wouldn't you? Little bits that will take time. or even an explanation of what needs doing. Not suddenly nothing's really changed. Minor little tweaks that have to quality of defending slightly better than last season. But when there's nothing to go with it and no sense that you're going to win games and win the required amount of games to get silverware, or even aim towards it, or make little steps towards it, I don't even see that. It's just hope again and relying on a big name players like VDV has become to bail us out over and over.
Yeah. And we've already said that that's not going to remain consistent.
Yeah.
That guy's one pull away from being out for a while.
Yeah, enjoying while he's in the joke, while he's in the team, but while he's in the joke, that was nearly a good slip. Yeah, there's lots of things. Eugene, yeah, you're right. There is a difference between keeping a team up and winning a trophy.
No, sorry, because based off of this earlier comment from Destiny, kind of wish Arnie Slot didn't reject us because he's over there running things.
Yeah, he's good manager. Again, does the basics right.
Well, Jordan's saying he gets too much hype, though, and it's just a matter of time before he shows his true colors as well. Mind you, we started off really well under Ange, too, right? We thought this guy was just a cat's meow now. Beautiful. Sun was shining. Rainbows were out.
Does that mean Ange wasn't getting too much hype? It's only because you have a Spurs hat on that you'd say things like that. To anybody else, it'll be like, well, look, what has he done, really?
Sure enough.
Brendan Rodgers wins trophies at Celtic. Is he great then?
Obviously.
Oh, and end of the day, same as with players, manager has to prove himself. And right now, I just don't see how he's going to do it. I just don't believe in him. The faith's gone.
El Mag with another good point here. He's got a lot of good ones today. Even when he had 10-game no losing run, I never lost my head and said we're going to win the league. People get way too emotional, one extreme to another. I'm that guy. I'm that guy, Elmatic. I'm the guy you hate, actually. I am that deluded one that jumped on that. I even had a banner made up for league champions and everything. It's kind of sad. Actually, I'm joking. I didn't go that far. The players need support. Yeah, well, it seems like we need to figure out what we're doing first to figure out who to support and what system. I'm just trying to get caught up here with the comments, to be honest with you, Coop, just so we can kind of wrap it all up here, right? So.
Yeah,
Alphiston, oh my goodness, holy, there's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Big up, buddy.
Big up, mate. Big up, mate.
Yeah, they're a really long time. Yeah, everybody's liking Potter. Calamari. Eddie Howe, as Ben said, scratch my head when Frank is so rated. Whoa. I think Eugene, never take anything Jacob says as personal, man. It's always football with him. He's got nothing but love for people. United's a good guy.
Jacob is the epitome on heart on the sleeve, fiercely protective of his team.
Yeah.
To him, it's him proper family. I'm not the same sort of fan as Jacob. I respect him for what he does, though. Totally. I wish I could still be that in love with my team. I really do.
Do you think this will help? What Destiny's saying here, if he starts mixing the kids in over the next handful of games?
Who starts next full of games?
Destiny is saying if he throws in the kids in the mix for the next 5 games, it might save him.
Or break him. We don't know, do we? I want to see him given a chance anyway. I think the worst thing that can possibly happen right now is we go and lose to Coventry.
I am Luca. He doesn't want to anymore. I am. This is why it's the first time we've ever kind of been on. This is why we're not even looking at each other. We have our backs.
Luca, I would agree.
We do this, but today we're doing this.
I would totally agree, Luca. You just need some crumbs of encouragement. I'm really not seeing that, mate. I think our attack looks dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And if that's the case, what's the point in having all the possession and winning the ball back in the opponent's third? If you don't do anything worthwhile with it, you're just not going to win games.
Yeah.
I mean, the big deals made over the defense and set pieces and everything, for me, it is all about that powder puff attack. It's awful. Really bad to watch.
I'm going to say this is the comment of the day so far because I'm pretty sure this is Simon. He's saying that we need a change of captaincy. Time to give it to VDB. I couldn't agree more.
Again.
Right?
Yes.
Jason, buddy.
Something Kate and I totally agree on. Would never have got rid of Pochettino. When we got close to winning the league, when we were close to winning the Champions League, that's when you go that extra step further and you bring in the top quality player to take you over the line. Just like Arsenal are trying to do with buying in Rice and players like that. They're trying to get that extra bit out of the team. We do the opposite. We cut funding and say, this is good enough. Expect you to win things now. And then every single sports team needs the fresh impetus of new blood coming into the side. Otherwise, they go stale. It's exactly what happened to us. Massive mistake made under that manager. And yet somehow we got half the fans will blame him for everything. And at least it's going to be the same here, even when we sack Ange, which we will do at some point. That's the point as well. Regardless of what you think of Ange, Levy will sack him. At some point, he is going to sack him because that is what he always does. So back him all we want. It's still going to happen.
I don't even know at this point, Cooves. It's kind of hard to argue on both sides because the arguments can be made, right? At the end of the day, all we can do is sit here and stay hopeful. That's really all we got, right?
Make some nice food, put on a movie, and do something else.
Indiana Jones.
That's what I'm going to do. I don't care at the moment.
I'm actually still into the Lord of the Rings things there. I've got like 2 episodes left before I catch up to exactly where we are.
Funny enough, I watched Fellowship of the Ring last night. It was good.
The movie?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I should do.
As opposed to... No, that's not... No.
The show's not in. I think I'm getting almost caught up here. Keep stalling for a few more seconds here.
Big up.
Okay, I'm almost caught up. I'm caught up. And that's it. Rob Frank, you telling me that unicorns don't exist? Whoa, hey guys, let's watch the crazy talk around here. Let's watch the crazy talk, okay? My unicorn's in the backyard eating Skittles right now off a rainbow. He's a very, very happy unicorn. But on that note, folks, we do appreciate you joining us today. We wanted to do an hour. We did 2. We were going to do just me and Cooves. We had the pleasure of having Ben and Brian join us today with their thoughts and insight into everything right now. We tried to have really
appreciate everybody coming in, joining in. We've got a lot of people watching. Record for us. At the end of the day, as I said, I've got really good friends in the chat channel that I'm totally in disagreement with at the moment on things, but it's all good. The love is still there for each other, and just don't make it personal. This is a football team. We get emotional about it, get angry about it sometimes. That's what goes with the territory. Sometimes you just got to turn it off and just take a step back and just come back at it when you're in, as Jacob will put it, get back some immaculate vibes.
There you go.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Jacob does have some seriously good one-liners.
He is the daddy. He is the big daddy of immaculate vibes in the community, without doubt.
Doesn't hurt that he's just a dashingly good-looking fella as well.
That's right, and he's got a little dog behind him too.
That always helps. Big up, Chewy. Thank you to Tweak for becoming a new member today. Tom81 I guess he rebooted his membership or something, or restarted it. Jim, big up with the super chat again. And then Steve D came in with his 9-month super chat. Jim with his 10-month super chat. And Kate followed and finished up with her 7-month super chat. So thank you all very, very much. We appreciate all the love and the support. Josie out, Nuno out, Conte out, Ange out. Yeah, it's there's quite a few of them, right? Jacob's still here. Still supporting us right from the beginning. I appreciate it, buddy. But that is it for us. We will be back. We don't know when because we don't really like to commit to things. And it's just the way we roll. Keep that notification bell on and you will see us pop up. Kuv seems to be enjoying this footballing stuff. So we'll do a few more of these. And I don't doubt we will be back at one point with
I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. I want to get back to happy clapping and everything's great at the beginning of last season. That was fantastic.
The next Saturday, spot the bull.
Yeah, just and Ange, if you're listening, just win. Start winning things. Just do that. Can't
There you
complain
go.
if you win.
So, Ange, listen the fuck up. That's all Kuva wants, okay?
Yeah.
That's all he wants. Just win.
Sort
Just
it
win.
out, mate.
Sort it out, mate. Sort it out. But much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please, if you haven't, hit the like and subscribe button on the way out and stuff like that, and all those funny, great things that we YouTubers say. But until next time, have a great day. Unity through football. Coos.
Everybody out.
Everybody. That means you too.